Yo, what's good? It's your boy Tap, and I'm back like a quick attack. And this time, I'm a psychic type trainer. Nah, I bet you saw that coming. But we have two sets to review. Two set minimum, and let's get right into what our advantages and disadvantages are as a psychic type trainer. As a psychic type gym leader, our psychic moves are super effective against fighting and poison types. The typings that resist our psychic type damage are psychic and steel, including dark. Now it's a immunity in main series. We always have to talk about this. It's an immunity in main series, but a double resistance in Pokemon Go because moves have to do some damage or the games would never end, right? So we have no effect against dark types. Now, the typings that are not very effective against us include fighting and psychic. And the typings that are super effective against us include bug, ghost, and dark. Now, we could talk about what that means. We could have been doing that for the entire challenge, but I feel like a psychic is the easiest one. So they're all psychological fears, essentially, right? So you need strong willpower in mind to be a psychic type Pokemon or a psychic type trainer. And people have fears of bugs, darkness, and ghosts, and those are all things that mess with you psychologically. So if you ever want to remember the weaknesses to psychic type, you can keep that in mind. Now, as for the team we settled on, I don't really see an ABB strategy. This is more like an ABC as much as you can for psychic type. Every psychic on this team has a secondary typing that neutralizes something that psychic types are normally afraid of. So, for example, we've got dark and psychic here, which will neutralize ghost damage and will also neutralize dark damage, as well as obviously making it a triple resistance to psychic because we're both dark and psychic. Then we got the normal psychic of Oranguru, and he is resisting or resisting ghost type damage. Will still be weak to dark type damage and will still be weak to bug type damage. Now, both of the two Pokemon I just mentioned, Malamar and Oranguru, are both extremely weak to a bug type. Let's say Golisopod on Fury Cutter or Araquanid on Bug Bite, or maybe charge a bug with X Scissor. So we do have a neutrality to bug in the back with a poison psychic in that of Slowking. Now that we understand the advantages and disadvantages of being a psychic type and a psychic type gym leader, let's get into some of these battles. Okay, getting into the first battle as a psychic type gym leader in the Great League, and it's Malamar into Alolan Graveler. This is an electric rock type Pokemon. So this is a pretty neutral matchup, except for the fact that we do have super effective superpowers that they have to fear. The thing is that this thing is so glassy that we could have baited with a foul play, but instead I'm assuming that we're gonna go for a superpower and dip method, and we do. We throw the superpower, they do respect it, and we switch out into our Trailblaze, Brutal Swing, Confusion using Oranguru. Now Oranguru is pretty bulky relative to other Pokemon. So this Rock Blast, which is already a pretty lackluster move, will not do a lot. And we are able to bait out a Fire and Rock type in that of Magcargo. Now, Magcargo has the ability to debuff us with Rock Tomb and also the ability to nuke us with Overheat, making it a very, very good Pokemon. We're able to get both of the shields off of this opponent from both of the moves that we threw from our Oranguru, and it puts us in a pretty good position. Now they're going to lower our attack back down with a Rock Tomb, but we are definitely going to still queue up this Trailblaze, boost our attack back up, and probably continue to pressure with Confusions. Okay, so we do that. We switch out. We're dancing right now. I mean, we have all psychic types, and I guess it really doesn't matter what we do, but this could have been an overheat, so I kind of respected it a bit. They come in with their Graveler. We're able to outpace to a Surf, and even though we're debuff, Graveler is so glassy that this Surf will really, really hurt. We're able to one-shot the Graveler. People hate when I say one-shot when they're that low. The third Pokemon is Venusaur, and we're kind of lucky because we resist all of the damage that it can send. Sludge and Power Whip, I believe, is what it normally uses, and because of our Poison subtyping, we will be resisting the damage it sends. We are both shields down, so this looks like this might be a win for the Psychic type trainer in this first battle. Sludge Bomb does a healthy amount of damage, to be honest with you. But we save our Rangaroo and we come in to get some confusion damage. We now have a brutal swing loaded, and we undertap it right away to get this thing low, because we just need fast move pressure if this doesn't knock out. But it does knock out, and we win a battle as a Psychic type gym leader in the Great League. GG's. Okay, getting into another battle as a Psychic type gym leader, and it's Malamar into Azu. Now, this is pretty sketchy because play rough is something that we have to fear, but we do have two good answers with a Trailblaze user in the back and also a poison type in the back that can really threaten this Azu. We end up baiting out a Mandibuzz here, which is pretty good for all of our Pokemon in the back, but really not good for our Oranguru at all because they wall everything that we can throw. Brutal Swing, Trailblaze, Confusion, all of these things are negligible damage. And if they want to, they can probably get really greedy and just actually commit to a farm down. Is that true? Do they even commit to it? They don't. They don't. I think a farm down would have been a little bit ambitious. I'm tripping. A farm down would have been pretty ambitious. Foul play doesn't take us out, which means they will be able to get the farm down now. But instead, we switch and try to catch on our Malamar. We get a head start on our Malamar. They stay in to throw what is likely a foul play. And yep, they send the foul play. We handle it pretty healthily. And because we have this head start, I am not as afraid of this Azu matchup. We're locked in, so a shield here is important. Because even though Azu is pretty bulky, you will see that these side waves add up substantially. So we do 2 side waves and throw a foul play for good timing. Now I don't have the best with one turn moves, but I try. And you see that we mess up there, and a bubble is snuck through, but we are able to queue up a foul play. And you see how low it gets it, boom, and then we switch. They are forced to go for Ice Beam here, which will not knock us out, and we are on acid. Not Confusion, we are on acid, and so our fast move pressure is a much more than their fast move pressure. They do settle for the Ice Beam, and we are. I love these fair Pokemon, like Slow King and Malamar. I can think of a couple of them, man, but they just have like the right amount of health to just be a fair Pokemon, like right amount of bulk and health to just be a completely fair Pokemon. Well, we do have our poison type against a Marowak that just came in after we got rid of the Azu. And luckily we have Surf to threaten it, but right now we could be going straight Side Shock, but I do like just going for the Surf. We're only gonna get one move before they mud slap us down anyway. They're gonna have to respect this. They do respect this damage, and we're really low on the Pokemon in the back. I'm wondering if he can just commit to a mud slap situation. But instead, we come in and we queue up a Trailblaze, and this Marowak has so much energy. It does respect it. We don't have a move loaded on our Malamar, and I'm pretty sure they're doubled up. So this should be an L. They go for Rock Slide. And we're able to get to a foul play because of that. Why didn't they do double Bone Club? And then we knock them out with that. But the last Pokemon is still an extremely healthy Mandibuzz. But did we forget about the Mandibuzz? Seems like we did, even during the review. Why did we play this out? I guess we had hope. The GG's to our opponent. Well, getting into the next battle, and we switched things up a bit. We put Deoxys on the team now. I don't know. I know in the beginning of the stream we tried to use Deoxys, and I know why we used it. It's because I really miss Deoxys being meta. Now, I try to farm up and catch a move on my Deoxys, but it doesn't work out. But my opponent still throws a move anyway. And I just really enjoyed Deoxys. It's such a cool looking Pokemon, a cool looking shiny, and I miss when Counter was good and it was pretty meta. I used to use Deoxys a lot back when I was really, really bad at the game. I wish I was good when he was good. I wish we were good at the same time, Deoxys. They go for a Moonblast, and I respect the damage. And I'm probably going to try to double up before I switch, and that helps me out because they don't catch a Psycho Boost on what would be their Dark Flying type shiny Moltres. Nice shiny. I do love shiny Galarian Moltres. They do respect the Rock Slide, rightfully so, but we have another one ready to go. And this Rock Slide won't knock out. So they don't necessarily have to respect it, but they do anyway. And we switch and we, oh, shit. I love this. I love this, dude. We get both of the shields, And because we see that we get both of the shields, we come in and we snipe with superpower right away while we can land big damage. We land it. And what do we want to do here? We do shield up. And they queue up a fly. They send it. They come back in with their Clefable and shields down. Meteor Mash will do a lot to my Slow King, even if I'm gonna get a lot of fast move pressure. But hopefully we can get a nice farm down with our Slow King with Acid and throw some good damage into whatever's in the back. We already have a low Dark type. We do need to get the energy head start here. They are able to get a final move before we can get the farm down, which is pretty unfortunate. Meteor Mash does almost half our health, if not exactly half of our health. They come back in with Moltres, and we know that psychic damage will be resisted. So we do go up to the Surf and we throw the Surf. This thing is pretty low. That Surf should be enough damage. And the last Pokemon ends up being Empoleon. And it would have been really, really, really sick to still have our Deoxys with a lot of health. It would have been really satisfying to have our Deoxys with a lot of health right now, because I feel like these counters would add up. We have to settle for a stab, side shock, and do I go for a catch? I don't. This game is likely over. I mean, this game is definitely over. And we're energy dry on our Deoxys too, so GG's to our opponent. Well played. Okay, getting into the next battle, and we give up on Deoxys. As much as I love it, it just wasn't doing the work we wanted to do. And we switch over to Mew. And so now we have our Dark type in front of a Fairy type Dedenne. It's a pretty scary matchup for us, so we do say swap into our Mew right away. Parabolic Charge is slightly more expensive here this season. We shield up the Parabolic Charge. Energy on our Mew plus health is really, really, really dangerous. I guess I was really hoping that this opponent would switch out at some point so that we could align our Acid user onto them. But they don't. And they also shield. Now, they are going to be double buff, so I don't think shielding here is smart because we're never going to win Switch now. So we're just going to queue up the Surf. They double shield. So because they do that, we just switch over to our Acid user and we just try to get a head start. I don't want to allow any farm downs. We end up baiting out a rollout user who does have access to drill run, so we do have to respect his moves with shields. But because of our energy head start, we will be able to outpace and put in a lot of damage. I love how much that side shock did, because I feel like one more side shock and one or two acids should be able to get rid of this Dunsparce. We do 4, and I like that, because we are now doubled up on Psyshock, and we put them in a range where Psyshock should be able to take them out. And yeah, so we completely cleanly get them out. They come back in with their Dedenne, and they must be core broken by the poison type because they come back in with their Fairy, and they are not buffed this time. So this Psyshock will take them out. Psyshock does take them out, and their last Pokemon is Cradily. Now, I wouldn't be mad if we go for a catch. It is a pretty easy catch. It takes 7 acids for them to get to their first Rock Tomb, and then an additional 6 acids to get to the second. So if I went for a catch, I wouldn't be mad. I don't go for a catch though. I guess I just I'm thinking that we're just gonna superpower this thing. We have a full health Malamar, but I would have liked to see it like a little cheeky catch for no reason. But yeah, we got a full health Malamar. We come in with it, and we're definitely outpacing to the superpower here. And this superpower is like overkill. We could have sent the foul play, but we're gonna win this match as a psychic type gym leader. GG's. I love the fact that we brought Mew in. All right, okay, getting into another battle, and it's the same team from last time, Malamar with Mew. We get a decent-ish lead, except for the fact that close combat would really scare us. I think we should safe swap. We don't though, but yeah, I like safe swapping. Now that I think about it, even though Rage Fizz is cool, I feel like they could do a calm, cheeky close combat in this situation, which makes us have to shield. And this opponent does not play any games. They do go straight for the close combat. And before they get to another move, I will queue up a foul play just to at least force a shield or just get like alignment with a lot of health on my Malamar, which I would really enjoy. But we do get a shield, and I end up trying to catch. It doesn't work out, so they're gonna send a Rage Fist into our Mew. I don't know why they didn't throw red. Oh, they do send a close combat. It does mad damage. Jeez. Anyway, the Primate is deleted out of existence, and in comes a Carbink. Lucky for us, we do have super effective damage with Surf. Carbink being Rock and Fairy. Rock is weak to Water type damage. So we are sending our Water type moves at this thing. We're just gonna spam them honestly because these rock throws will really hurt. Not sure it's worth a shield. I think that Mew did its job. I mean, 1.5 Pokemon are gone. So Mew's gone, and I'm going to come in with my Acid User because the strongest move they have is Moonblast. We'll be able to tank that for sure. They're never going to send that because we're a Poison type. But also we have super effective Surf type damage that we can send without debuffing ourselves. Whereas the neutral superpower would not do as much damage to Carbink, and would also require us to debuff ourselves. They do let the Surf go on their Carbink, and I think they realize that the game is over, and they top left, and GG's to our opponent. So that ends up being a calm 3-2 as a Psychic type gym leader, and I have one more set for you as a Psychic type gym leader with Mew Gaming. Let's get it. Okay, getting into another battle, and we are Mew Gaming. It is Malamar into Ampharos. Now, Ampharos is normally running Volt Switch, Brutal Swing, and Trailblaze, but Ampharos has such a healthy attack stat as well as Volt Switch doing so much fast attack pressure that the Brutal Swings will start to feel like super effective damage, even though they are just neutral damage because we are Dark and Psychic. They do settle for the Trailblaze, and as you can see, like it does so much damage. It's a little bit scary. I do 3 side waves and I queue up a foul play for good timing. Got to try our best every time. Timing and energy management are very important in this game. I mean, that's very obvious, but you know, we do get a shield and then stay swap into our Mew, and I like this play. Right? Because they're already shields down. If we can get 2 moves on our Mew for wherever they want to switch in, like they're gonna have to go down shields or lose their Pokemon for the most part. Not a lot of things, and we already see the Electric type here. So not a lot of things want to take a wild charge. If they're ABA Electric, I mean, so be it. But we do get the next shield. Now Mew has done a lot of work here. I'm wondering if I want to keep my shield advantage, and I decide I do want to keep my yo. Well done, Mew. Love you, baby. We wait the timer down because they never switch, and we go for a nice farm down here. And we don't go for the farm down. We actually go for a catch. We're going to put it all on Slowking right now. And I respect that. Like, so Slowking has a decent coverage here with Surf and Side Shock. And also, it does have a lot of damage. And unfortunately, though, Pokemon ends up being a Gastrodon, and we get 3-ball flexed on as a Psychic type gym leader. GG's to our opponent. Okay, getting into the next battle, and it is Malamar into Marowak, the battle of the Maz. So it's Ma versus Ma right now, and I'm scared. I can't really safe swap because I don't want my Slowking to see this Mud Slapper. It would just be GG's right away. And so it's not a shadow, so we do let the first Bone Club go through. We throw on improper timing there. We throw after 3 sideways when we should have thrown after 2 sideways, but this is fine. They don't respect the damage with a shield. We're able to get to another foul play. And maybe they respect this damage with a shield. Really be helpful for us. They do respect that damage with a shield, and we do the same thing. We get the shield advantage and go right into Mew. I mean, you would normally not want to switch in when like a Marowak is this ahead on energy, but we do have a shield advantage, and also they would have got the farm down anyway. They were never going to throw a Bone Club, so this is fair to me, getting out the paint right away. Investing in my Mew wouldn't be a horrible play, but I decide that Mew is bulky enough. Now, this is a Hundo Mew. This is my best buddy Bottle Cap Hundo Mew, and they come in with a Toxapex, and that's one of my favorite Pokemons too, but do they know? I don't think they know, bro. Or else they wouldn't have came in with Gloxapex. They don't know. We're able to get 2 off. and they're gonna have to respect the second one. They do, and we switch over into our slow king, which I like this play. I don't like not throwing the side shock right away. We would have won CMP, and just getting rid of this thing is cool. But also over farming is cool. They're never gonna send a sludge wave because we are a poison type, which is why this swap is pretty safe. We over farm a little bit, and we force them to throw another brine. Totally fine with this. Now the two Pokemon in the back are pretty much done. So we have three dead Pokemon essentially. And because we saved up all of that energy, we are going to send a Psyshock into this Mud Slapper. And now the Mud Slap that they just sent won't register because they just fainted. We have another Psyshock ready for the Toxapex that comes in. We won't take any more poison jab damage. They will not get to another brine. In comes a Kamoo. Now we have to get to this Psyshock and hope that it does a lot of damage. The Hakamo, no, Kamoo rather, and both of them, but I was just saying the name wrong. They are fighting type Pokemon, so they are weak to psychic type damage. So we were able to get the Psyshock and then Side Wave down. GG's, we win as a psychic type gym leader. Okay, getting into another match, and it's Malamar into Doublade. Now this is a pretty underwhelming Pokemon. It does have neutral Sacred Sword and a pretty decently damaging move of Gyro Ball, but we have super effective Foul Play. So I overfarm slightly, like a little bit. So they're able to get their Sacred Sword off first. Let's see how much damage it does. It does put us to like half health. And then they swap out into an Azumarill, Shiny Azu. Nice. With 1500 CP, Shiny Azu is a nice flex, but we have the perfect answer in our Acid Slowking. They're forced to go for Ice Beam, so we don't have to respect them. It's not stab, and it won't do a lot of damage. We do one acid and queue up a Psyshock. Psyshock won't take out. Azu is a really, really, really bulky monster. Now I wouldn't mind overfarming here. We do overfarm slightly a little bit, but I wish I kind of overfarm, let them throw, and then have some more energy for what comes in. But this is also fine because, okay, we do force a shield here. They're wanting to put some pressure on our Slowking. I wouldn't mind investing in it because there's a lot of energy that we're throwing away. And we throw away the energy and we take the shield advantage. Oh, because we do have the Mew in the back, but not the best IVs because it is a hundo. So I wouldn't be mad if we commit to the nastiest Shadow Claw farm down you ever did see in your entire life. And we are committing to the nastiest Shadow Claw farm down you ever did see in your entire life. And again, keeping this advantage from you is pretty sick, actually. We still have a decently healthy Malamar as well. We are able to get the Shadow Claw down. In comes a Furret, and this is really, really, really sketchy because a Furret has super effective Sucker Punch damage into our Psychic type Mew. Psychic being weak to Dark. But we are able to send out two Wild Charges. They're probably going to respect the second one, and we're going to dance over into our Malamar. We dance over to Malamar. We had a superpower loaded, but we go for Foul Play instead. Maybe either not remembering what side the move was on, or I don't know. To be honest with you, they come. Oh yeah, I guess we don't want to debuff ourselves in case they come back in with this thing. They do come back in with this thing, and we are able to get this thing being Doublade. Sorry guys, let's be informative here. They do come back in with Doublade. And it's about to be a dub for us because we are able to get the side wave down before they're able to get the sucker punch down. And Fur ended up being a little bit scary, but with some good dancing and some good energy management, we win. Are getting into another battle as a psychic type gym leader, and it's a nightmare lead because we are Malamar, dark type, which is weak to fairy type damage, and Charm is a very high pressure move. Our safe swap in that of Mew has resisted Shadow Claw damage to pressure this Wigglytuff with, which obviously just isn't any pressure. So now we're just gonna start putting on the pressure right now. Now they should probably no shield this, knowing that we would never debuff ourselves on a lock-in, but they shielded anyway. And I think that what I want to do is fight here. I'm gonna fight here because either I'm gonna get this Wigglytuff really low, force them to switch out, or get our Slowking on top on this thing while the timer is up for us to switch. Because if we can get it on while we can still switch, then we can still kind of dance around with our slow king. We go for the wild charge. It does hit really hard, but because of the icy wind, it doesn't hit super hard. We try to get to another wild charge, needing DRE to get it, but we don't. We're waiting the timer down slightly, but we do have our switch clock is up, so we're really good. And they send an icy wind into our poison type slow king, and then they switch over into Talonflame. Now this head start is really, really, really good for us on energy because we can over farm here, throw on proper timing, and get a surf off, which they will have to respect even with a debuff. And they do respect it. Now, they're probably gonna go for a flame charge to boost their attack. And yeah, they always do that, but we can just one and surf. I believe because they boosted their attack, if we went for two, we would die to that incinerate. So I do like this, what they would consider throwing on alignment. And I undercharge a little bit, thinking that I want a head start on my Malamar. And we do get a slight head start on our Malamar, which is okay. Last Pokemon, no, not the last Pokemon. It's still Wigglytuff here, and they catch a foul play on a Primate. So I'm glad we didn't debuff ourselves, but the Primate will outpace us. And we don't have any shields. If they close combat here, we are just essentially just cooked. They do Rage Fist, so we are able to throw another foul play into the Primate to get rid of it. This is sketchy, sketchy, sketchy. In comes the oh. Yeah, we just lose. Okay, GG's to our opponent. But you know what? Screw Wigglytuff, man. GG's though. All right, get into another battle as a Psychic type gym leader, and it's Malamar into Mag Cargo. Now, Mag Cargo has a very good fast move pressure with Incinerate, and it also has the ability to debuff us with Rock Tomb, and it also can nuke us with an Overheat. The only fortunate part for us is that our Sidewaves will add up, and Superpower is super effective into the sub-rock typing of Mag Cargo, who is a rock and fire type. So we do get the shield advantage, and we switch over into Mew. We're able to catch a move, but I'm wondering, do we want to preserve some health on our Mew? I mean, it is a pretty glassy Pokemon, but we do let it go. And, you know, for a Hundo in the Great League, my Mew is pretty savage. We're able to throw a Surf into this Mag Cargo before it either switches out or gets another Rock Tomb off. And it doesn't respect the Surf, I guess, because it hit us with the Rock Tomb. Doesn't really, probably didn't know Mew's moveset. In comes a Tentacruel, and if we can make it to a Wild Charge, we're in a fantastic position. We do make it to a Wild Charge. And they saw Surf, they didn't see Wild Charge, so they're probably not going to respect this. And we get really big damage, which is amazing for us because we can come back in with Malamar and do a lot of side wave damage, probably shield once and farm down even. So yeah, we immediately throw up the shield. That is our thought process. And we're in a fantastic position here now. They send a Scald. The last Pokemon is Cradily, and I'm just going to do a Superpower and Dip situation here. Because we do have a Poison type in the back that will resist either their Poison or their Grass Fast move. And the only real damage they can send is a Rock Tomb. Now, I decide to let this Rock Tomb go because they're never going to farm us down with their Bullet Seed, and we still have a decent amount of health on our Malamar. We settle for Side Shocks because both of the damage is neutral. Now, you might see the Rock typing and want to send the Surf, but because of the Grass, that Rock typing is neutral. So you probably want to throw the Stab damage first. We sealed up the second Rock Tomb that is inevitably coming through. We do one acid and queue up the Side Shock. We see the Bullet Seed come through. Now, what I've noticed, and I want to talk about this, obviously, everyone knows about fast move timing now, right? So I love the way this game is evolving. Like everyone understands fast move timing, so there are people taking advantage. Well, I am one of them, and other trainers as well, taking advantage of the fact that people always are horny for timing, and therefore they are doing one and throws all the time. So if you're a 3-turn user, you can under tap or you can wait a turn and tap. Lots of people are waiting for the fast move to come through and then switching. Lots of people are under tapping their energy on a 3-turn move instead of throwing on good timing, because the good timing is leaving them vulnerable to very, very predictable catches and stuff. So it's really interesting seeing how this game has evolved and stuff. Where like first people didn't know stuff about timing, so if you were throwing on good timing, for the most part, you were winning a lot of your games. Not everyone understands the ins and outs of timings, and they're understanding that there is nuance to it, and that there are moments where you have to throw on alignment, where you're forced to throw on alignment because they get to their move first, or because you're about to die anyway, or there's a bunch of different reasons. You're about to faint, they're gonna get to their move first. You have to pressure it, or maybe you can force a CMP tie. There are certain times where just throwing on what would have been alignment, forcing it into a CMP tie, or just getting your move off right away is important. And I've noticed that a lot about 3-turn users, and it makes the game a lot scary, you know what I mean? Because like you do want to throw on good timing, and then also if you want to wait for the animation to come through, right? But if you're waiting and you don't see an animation come through, the moment where you realize that what they're doing, you might end up tapping the move anyway, then they get the catch. Or if you don't tap, you're losing 2 turns of energy being patient and waiting, and it's a really rough. Sorry for the end game rant. That was my psychic type gym leader challenge, and it was really fun. I love the Mew gaming. I really love Mew gaming, because I love Mew. So I'm happy that we got some positive sets with Mew, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends on Reddit, Twitter, Discord, all that good stuff, yo. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. It's your boy Tap, and I'm out. Peace.